No.
Alright, I'm back.
Well, that was pretty much it. I haven't had many stitches.
Well, I guess that's a good thing, right? So, I guess my bone of contention with this whole process is the fact that we were in to see the triage nurse maybe 10 to 11. So, I'm
you've already
thinking,
been at the
okay,
hospital for a bit.
No big deal. Yeah, I arrived at 10:02, so it's been 50 minutes, and I'm now in to see the triage nurse. And I thought, okay, they're going to see that this is a deep cut, right? And by this
even
time,
if it's not a deep cut, like you get the stitches and you get on your way.
That's right, it's not a huge ordeal. Well, apparently not. So basically, there was a woman ahead of me in line who the nurse had told me, okay, yeah, you know, she came in first and she cut her toe, and it was pretty bad because you know her toe was
cut your toe?
Last. I don't know. She somehow was
step on some glass
outside. What?
I'm gonna have to deal with you fuckers, aren't I?
Anyway, she cut her toe,
themselves.
And we, sorry, I need a shovel. So she's ahead of us because the girl said, okay, we just don't have a laceration room ready. This other girl's using it right now. I said, okay, that's fine. And I'm thinking, you know what, that's no problem. She came in first, you know, it's pretty serious the way she cut her toe because it was bleeding through her bandage, and I'm thinking, fuck, you've waited a long time to be, you know, seen. So, of course, you're gonna go first and I'll just hop in next. Well, and I'm back in the waiting room and it's like 11:15. Okay? So now it's 15 minutes after 11. I've been there for an hour and 15. I'm thinking, all right, they'll just, you know, stitch her up, get me in the chair, and off we go, right? We're laughing. Well, that's not exactly how that's gonna go, or how that went. Because suddenly the girl comes back out and she still has a bandage on her toe, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, like they've sewn her up, everything's hunky-dory. Well, apparently an ambulance came in. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. An ambulance takes precedence over, you know, me, because who knows, they could be literally bleeding to death, right? And yeah, it hurts, and I have a finger cut that's, you know, pretty bad that I don't really want to have anymore, wide open. But, you know, if they're gonna die, fine. But anyways,
only then is it fine.
Yeah, so this girl had been out there or in the room for 2 hours by this point that the ambulance arrives, right? So now it's 1 o'clock. So I've been waiting. After seeing and getting out from the triage nurse, I'm now waiting about 2 hours. They have this, this ambulance come in and take care of those people. Well then, from 1 o'clock, or about 1:15 when this woman comes out, she tells us that she hasn't even seen the doctor yet. Hasn't even seen the doctor. I'm thinking, that's a little fucking weird. You've been in there for... She was in there for a solid 2 hours before the ambulance arrived, and nobody had come to see her. At all. Like, at all. No doctor, no nurse, nobody. And then once the ambulance arrived, after 1, they just came in and said, yeah, we need this room, we'll need you to leave. So anyways, this girl, with her bleeding toe, just says, fuck it, I'm leaving. And just leaves the ER.
Well, I mean, eventually it's going to heal itself, right?
I suppose.
Or you go to a different hospital?
Well, that's what I think she did. Like, she just said, fuck it, I'm not waiting here for any more time, right? So now, at this point, there are 9 people seated in the waiting room. I mean, it's not a huge waiting room. It might have a seating capacity for 24 people. And there's 9 different groups of people. So maybe in total, I don't know. Maybe
and you
15.
were ahead of how many of them?
I'm ahead of... Well, in severity, I'd probably say I was ahead of all but 1, maybe.
Because they just had what going on? Just like colds or...
Yeah, just like one kid thought he might have broken his leg.
Well, that's pretty bad.
There was a... True. The kid was walking around, so I was thinking...
Oh, well, he didn't break his leg if he's walking around.
You're not going to break your leg if you're walking around the hospital here, but whatever, they were in, so I was like, that's fine, you know. Well, then, there was a fucking... I don't know how old she would be, maybe 17-year-old girl that came in with her mother, and her mother was a hefty woman. And she was like, oh, I woke up and my foot's sore. And she has it wrapped in a tensor bandage. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
why the
come
waiting
to
room
ER.
is so long.
Yeah. And so anyways, there's these 9 people, and there's people there for blood work because they were leaving for England the very next day. And I'm thinking to myself, fuck, you could have started that process a whole lot sooner there, friend. But whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat. So at the end of it all, they have us sit there from, oh, what did I say, like 1:15, let's just say, for easy math, was the time that this woman came out and notified us that she hadn't even seen a doctor, right? And she had been in there for 2 hours. From that time until, and this has already taken into account the 2 hours that I've already been there. And so from that time on until about 3:30, nobody came in the hospital, and nobody was admitted to the ER, and nobody left the ER. Whoever was back there, now, the only person that was admitted outside of that woman with a cut toe, fucking Sally, you cock.
I mean, the bishop's right, too.
Okay. Crispy, it's over. Just let it go.
The Queen King moved diagonally as well.
But, anyways, at the end of it all... Oh my god, give me a second. I gotta fucking kill my cat.
That's not nice.
My hands up!
Oh, jeez. He wasn't joking. I'm one dead cat. Jeez. Listen, man.
And I'm back.
Down one cat.
Well, she fucking gets on top of the baker's rack, and there's some really breakable stuff up there, and she's a fucking jungle cat, and she needs to learn. But anyways, she's just a little wet from the spray bottle.
From the blood.
Anyways, so... Yeah, from the blood that's seeping out of her ear. Just kidding, PETA. Haha, haha.
That's not funny. Can't joke about that.
But anyways, so I was in the hospital from 10:02. I was a triage nurse at 11, and suddenly at the end of it all, I don't get seen by a doctor until 3:30. Now, according to research that I did while seated there, literally just making friends with the rest of the patients waiting to be seen, which I'll talk more about in a second. But they say to prevent or to maximize the prevention steps for
You're maximizing the prevention steps for open wounds.
For open wounds. You have to get them stitched up at most between 6 and 8 hours.
Yes.
And so it's 20 after 3, and I'm thinking, fuck, it's now been the 6-hour window.
The longer it's unstitched, the worse it'll scar.
Right. Exactly.
Which is what happened with my hand, because I cut my hand and then continued to work for the rest of the day before I even went to the hospital.
Right, and so you had more stress on it.
Yeah, my
boss
told me it didn't need stitches. And
how wrong was your boss?
3 stitches wrong.
There you go, boss. Anyways, it was just a little frustrating because they say that, oh, well, we're going to get people in based on importance and urgency, right? Now, my hand eventually stopped bleeding, probably around, I don't know, 2 o'clock. Now, as soon as I took the bandage, like the compression that I had on it off, yeah, it started to bleed again. But it had temporarily stopped for a while, which was great. But it was partly because the cloth that I had over it actually embedded itself in the wound.
Yeah.
Which was really gross, because then when the doctor finally came in, like, they had to call a second doctor in, and they're like, yeah, now that it's been a 6-hour wait, we will call in a second doctor. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? If you were so incompetent at your job, now, maybe there were people dying back there, right? I have no idea, because I wasn't back there. But from the few people that, you know, had come out, they said there was nobody moving in or out of there. No doctors going into a room, no nurses going into a room. The doctor or the nurses are at the station. Like, just nobody's doing their job. And to have to wait 6 hours before the hospital will call in a second doctor. And then as soon as that second doctor walked in, and we all could kind of tell when she came in who she was, everything started moving. Like, 4 people out of the 9.
It was almost like there wasn't even a doctor there to begin with, and then...
Yeah, it's like they fucking faked it, or they were sleeping or something.
Which they probably weren't doing if an ambulance came in. There probably might have been people dying back there, but...
Right, and I have no idea. So I'm willing to give them credit for, you know, whatever was going on that way, because I'm not going to be privy to that information. But, seriously, get your fucking shit together.
Put it in a bag and get it together.
Yeah, I don't understand. It was very frustrating for me to sit there. Now, I was patient with it because with an ambulance there, fine. But then I was a little annoyed when you go back and then the nurses, like, there's a ton of nurses, and I'm thinking, is a nurse not qualified to stitch somebody up?
Yeah, I mean, every time I've been for stitches, I've had not a doctor.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's totally
I mean, it's
fine,
not
right?
like it's like a higher up nurse. It's not like the person.
Yeah, maybe you have an RN or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the levels of nurses are, but yeah, it's definitely like a higher up nurse. But nurses can do all that.
Yeah, like there's I don't know this for sure, but Jackie would be the better person to ask. But a nurse practitioner, I'm pretty certain, has some more authority than a regular nurse.
That sounds right.
Extra training.
Like you said, Jackie would know. Fortunately, she's still ignoring me because of something that I did, which I don't know what it is, but...
Well, welcome to life with women, I suppose.
Once I apologize, I'll know what it is.
Yeah. You have to figure out what it is in order to apologize.
It was probably something I said. Because sometimes I say things that don't line up with people's views. In either jest or in seriousness, but...
It's like you're not allowed to have a different opinion.
Sometimes I jest in seriousness. Or I'll take the opposite side just to have an opposite side in a conversation. Because sometimes it's no fun when everyone's like, yeah, that Space Force that Trump's talking about is stupid. And you go, well, wait, actually, it could be really good.
That's right. That's how lively discussions, and I think people are going to form better opinions. They're not just going to say what they think everyone else wants them to say.
I mean, I might agree with what that person is saying about something, but sometimes it's nice just to play the antagonist, and maybe that's why she doesn't like me anymore.
Maybe.
Or maybe Melissa did it.
Fuck!
Melissa was like, get away from my man.
Maybe.
My man!
Being shot at, but I don't know.
No, it's just me. I'm getting shot at.
That's you. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm getting shot at, but I don't know from where.
I'm taking your bullets, boy.
Oh, did you do all 3 here?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought there was only 2, but kind of looks like there's 3. So yeah, I guess I did 3. Yeah, the ground is much quicker than the water. But I told you last time I was done with the water.
Yep. Yeah, you just make me suffer through it.
Well,
I gotta dump all this shit in these chests here.
No! Oh, I got blown up here. That's...
That's quite convenient. Anyways, I'm always grateful and appreciative of all the work that nurses and doctors do. I know I couldn't do it, so hats off to them in all seriousness. But I just have to wonder, you know, what the fuck about our resources? Like, are we